Welcome to Knowledge Hub, where curiosity meets discovery. Dive into a world of fascinating facts, mind-blowing science, and the secrets behind everyday wonders. Get ready to expand your mind and explore topics that spark your imagination. Let's unlock the knowledge together.
I woke up in that old building, the air thick with dust, and the faint smell of something rotten. My friends were supposed to be there, but when I opened my eyes, it was just me. The silence was deafening, and then I saw it: blood. It was everywhere, pooling on the floor, splattered on the walls. My heart raced as I stumbled out of the room, panic clawing at my throat. That's when I found him, my friend, lying there lifeless. I thought I was dreaming, that I'd wake up and laugh it off. But then, he moved, I blinked, and in that moment, everything changed. His eyes, once full of life, were now hollow, filled with a hunger I couldn't comprehend. He was a zombie, tearing into flesh, and I was frozen in horror. I turned to run, my mind screaming at me to escape. I bolted down the hall, adrenaline pumping through my veins, but then, bam, I collided with a car. The world spun, and darkness swallowed me whole. When I came to, I was in a hospital, the sterile smell of antiseptic stinging my nose. The police were there, their faces a mix of concern and suspicion. They asked me questions, but all I could think about was the nightmare I had just lived through. I had to tell someone, so I called for my dad, Travis. "Dad, you won't believe what I saw," I said, my voice trembling. I told him everything: the blood, the body, the transformation. He listened, his brow furrowed with worry. I could see he wanted to believe me, but how could he? Travis decided to investigate the building, to see for himself. I watched him leave, a knot of fear tightening in my stomach. What if he found nothing? What if it was all in my head? Hours later, he returned, looking puzzled. "Everything seems normal," he said, but I could see the doubt in his eyes. Then he met a man outside, someone who looked just as terrified as I felt. "I'm not infected," the man insisted, his voice shaky. But how could we trust him? What if he was lying? The world was unraveling, and I was stuck in the middle of it. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was very wrong. The fear was palpable, creeping into every corner of my mind. I had to find out the truth, to uncover what was happening. But as I lay there, the weight of it all pressing down on me, I realized this was just the beginning. I woke up in that hospital, the sterile smell of antiseptic stinging my nose. The fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, casting a harsh glow on the faces of the patients around me. They looked off. Their eyes were glazed, movements jerky, like marionettes with tangled strings. I knew I had to get out. I slipped through the halls, heart racing, dodging the strange figures that seemed to lurk in every corner. I had to find answers. My friend had changed, and I needed to confront the dealer who had pulled him into this mess. I found him in a rundown alley, the shadows swallowing us whole. He tried to play it cool, but I could see the fear in his eyes. "Where's my friend?" I demanded. He smirked, trying to twist the truth, but I wasn't buying it. I pressed him harder, and that's when he lunged at me. In that moment, it was either him or me. I didn't want to do it, but I had to survive. I fought back, and before I knew it, he was on the ground, lifeless. The weight of what I'd done crashed over me like a tidal wave. I stumbled out of the alley. The world outside was chaos. People were screaming, and I could see it on their faces, the fear, the panic. I pulled out my phone, and the videos flooding my feed were horrifying. People attacking each other, blood everywhere. It was like a nightmare come to life. I needed to find Travis and his wife. They were my last connection to sanity in this madness. We had to stick together. As I made my way through the streets, I saw them, zombies. They were everywhere, shambling and moaning, their once human forms twisted by the virus. I ducked into a store, heart pounding, praying I wouldn't be next. Travis and his wife were searching for me too. I could only hope they were safe. The military showed up, but I couldn't shake the feeling that they weren't here to help. Their presence felt more like a cover-up than a rescue. I watched them from a distance, their armored vehicles rolling in, soldiers with guns drawn. What were they hiding? Were they the solution or just another part of the problem? The world had turned upside down, and trust was a luxury we could no longer afford. Survival was all that mattered now. I had to keep moving, keep fighting, and find my friends before it was too late. The devastation was everywhere, and I was determined not to become just another victim of this nightmare.
I can't believe it's come to this. The army, the very people we trusted to protect us, are now the ones we fear the most. They've got Nick, and they think he's infected. My brother, my blood, just because he's running a fever. They're treating him like a monster, like he's already one of them. I can't just stand by and watch. I told him to run, to get out while he still could, but he didn't listen. Now he's trapped, and so is Daniel's wife. Travis's ex-wife, a nurse, tried to reason with them. She knows what a fever means. It doesn't mean he's infected. But the army doesn't care about facts or medical advice. They're too busy playing God, deciding who lives and who dies. They're rounding people up, throwing them into a stadium like cattle, all because they're afraid of a virus that might not even be real. And then there's Daniel. He's desperate, willing to do anything to save his wife. I can't blame him. I'd do the same for Nick. He captured an army soldier, risking everything for a chance to get some answers. The soldier spilled the truth. People are being killed indiscriminately. The army is scared, and fear makes them ruthless. They think they can just eliminate anyone who might be a threat. We have to act fast. Dawn is coming, and with it, the chance to rescue Nick and Daniel's wife before it's too late. We can't let them become another statistic, another casualty in this madness. The clock is ticking, and we're running out of time. As if things couldn't get worse, I hear the screams. Zombies are breaching the stadium. The chaos is spilling out, and it's only a matter of time before they find us. We need to move, to fight our way through the madness. It's not just about saving Nick anymore. It's about survival. We're all in this together, and if we don't act now, we'll lose everything. The plan is simple. Get in, get them out, and get to safety. But nothing is ever simple in a world gone mad. We're up against the army, against the undead, and against time itself. But we can't give up.
Not now.
Not ever. We're going to fight for our lives, for our loved ones, and for the hope that we can still make it out of this nightmare.
I never thought I'd find myself in a situation like this. One minute, I'm just trying to survive in a city that's gone to hell. And the next, I'm teaming up with a businessman who claims he has the means to get us out. At first, it seemed like a lifeline. He had a boat, a plan, and the promise of safety. But as the days dragged on, I started to see the cracks in his facade. He was self-serving, always looking out for his own interests. Every time we made a move, it felt like he was more concerned about his own skin than the group's survival. I could see it in his eyes. He was calculating, weighing his options, and it made me uneasy. We needed to escape, but trusting him was like playing with fire. Then there was Travis's ex-wife. She was tough, resilient, and had a heart of gold. I never expected her to be the one to step up when things got dire. When the chaos hit, and we were cornered, she made a choice that none of us could have anticipated. She revealed she had been bitten. The look on her face was a mix of fear and determination. She knew what was coming, but instead of panicking, she took charge. "Get out of here," she said, her voice steady. "I'll hold them off." In that moment, she became a hero. She sacrificed herself so we could escape, and it hit me hard. It was a stark reminder of what we were up against. This world had turned us into monsters, but she chose to be a savior. With her bravery etched in our minds, we made our way to the businessman's boat. The plan was simple: get to the sea, away from the chaos, away from the ruins of our lives. But as we boarded, I couldn't shake the feeling of dread. Would he really take us to safety, or was this just another trap? The boat rocked gently as we prepared to leave the city behind. I looked back at the skyline, once filled with life and now a graveyard of memories. The thought of Travis's ex-wife lingered in my mind. Her sacrifice wasn't just about survival, it was about hope. As we set sail, I realized that safety isn't just a destination. It's about the people we choose to stand with, the sacrifices we make, and the bonds we forge in the face of despair. The sea stretched out before us, vast and unknown, But for the first time in a long while, I felt a flicker of hope. We were alive, and together, we would face whatever came next.
If you enjoy what you see, hit that subscribe button and join our community. Don't forget to press the bell icon so you never miss an update. Your support means the world and helps us create even more amazing content for you.